My name is Antonio Ramos. I go by the name Fabio.
Through their means of reporting of contraceptive sales and then hiding statutory rape, more or less, to protect the perpetrator, so the girl would be satisfied and the young man not, or the man not getting in any trouble. And here Planned Parenthood on record hiding this. I said Planned Parenthood would shut today, but it'd be somebody else who would pick up that slack. And so, but the good part about it is that people are beginning to understand and to connect the dots and realize that this is being perpetrated against minorities, and it is deeply because not only, as I said, if abortion was not lucrative, it would not be legal, but there's still a very strong ideology and belief that when you can control the minority, the African American, especially in Africa, the NSSM policy of this country to make sure the numbers of African Americans do not grow, so they would not be able to control the resources of Africa. And asking me this question that I can still see now in my brain, my mind, would you like to get involved in the pro-life movement? And of course, I used to get the two terms confused, pro-life, pro-choice. And I said to myself, sure, why not? I'll do anything to help, that type of thing. And since then, it just, one thing just led to another. I was summoned to go down to Virginia Beach, where I was going to go to a LEARN conference, Life Education and Resource Network, the largest African-American pro-life entity in the country. And they were having a conference there, and I heard Akua Farrow in her presentation talk about the Negro Project and talk about Margaret Sanger and talk about the 1,000, at that time, 1,452 African-American children that were killed each day by abortion. And needless to say, the targeting, the systemic way it was presented, the diabolical plan and the ideology was staggering. And I was shocked because here I am, a shepherd, and my goal and my charge is to protect the sheep and to guard them against the wolf. And here, this is going on right underneath my nose, so to speak, in our community, unabated. And no one was challenging the Planned Parenthoods, the abortion industry, and no one was challenging the African American leadership that was actually, I would find later, condoning not only abortion, but also benefiting from abortion. So that began in the best kept secret in America. But right now it's really coming to light more so than ever before. She was brilliant in her strategy. She also perceived that if you're going to reach the African American, you have to do it from a religious persuasion. You would have to be cleared through the leadership of the church. And so she told Clarence Gamble, the heir of Procter & Gamble, that we ought to hire 3 or 4 colored ministers with engaging personalities and from social service backgrounds to make sure, more or less to be the face of it, to make sure that if anyone should suspect anything, that they would be able to quell any suspicions from the congregation or the people. And so, but that was very insightful insight, and that is how our community, even today, if you look at, unfortunately, it didn't really take root as she would like it to until, of course, 1973. Eugenics is the targeting of any ethnic group with the goal of either controlling the propagation or the fruitfulness of that group when it comes to birth, or exterminate that group. And the key thing is targeted, and also the key thing is that the goal is to reduce. Genocide is when you are already now in motion with your plan to reduce, and you're now beginning to have the effects that you desired. The numbers are decreasing. Numbers are decreasing. The birth rate is going down. In the African American community today, it's at 1.97. You need 2.1 in order to maintain the present population. Presently, because of, and if, with any cursory search at all, one would be able to truly find the culprit, and it's abortion. Well, I can say as far as the Planned Parenthood, they have a board of clergy. Recently in Portland, they opened up a mega killing station, and it was clergy present at the inauguration. Once again, this, allows it to appear to be socially acceptable when you put a cleric in front with a collar and is talking about the good social good this is going to do for the community. And unfortunately, we're not looking beneath reduce to create genocide with nationalities or ethnic groups that they felt were inferior. The key thing to understand is that this is what they believe. I used to believe that this was all about money. Now it is about money for many, but with the core group of eugenics believers and the brain trust of Planned Parenthood, it's ideology. How Planned Parenthood evolved, of course, you have to go with their founder, as we've stated already, unquestionably a devout racist, one who truly believed in the ideology that she was espousing, and she was part of a global group of elitists, the eugenics society, who had this same ideology, and she formed here in this country. It was first called the Birth Control League, and so we find that even then it more or less somewhat reveals what the agenda is, and they.
The point is almost here that the plans of our white, lily white government to incite rioting and revolution among blacks and other people of color in the world, the point is almost here where the President of the United States will issue his order for the emergency. The King Alfred plan. You have it in your hands. Let's look at it right quick. Let's see what's going to happen here. They didn't write this, brothers and sisters, without a plan to make it happen. Let me say that one more time. They did not go through the trouble of writing this without a plan to pull it off. The King Alfred Plan, the United States of America King Alfred Plan, codenamed Rex 84. Here's what it says, and I'm going to read quickly. In the event of widespread and continuing and coordinated racial disturbances in the United States, King Alfred, at the discretion of the President, underline that, and then look at the person next and say, this is why no black man can be the president. You gotta understand, people, this program was written for black people.
What good?
Hey, listen, I don't know. What's Secretary of State's name? Colin Powell. I don't know. He seems to be a little disgruntled.
Well,
but when you got people like that supporting the white agenda, it makes you wonder. They might be able to put somebody who looks black in those offices.
Today,
it says, at the discretion of the President, King Alfred is to be put into action when? In other words, when the President of the United States, not Congress,
too soon,
not the House, not the Senate, not the House of Representatives, not the Senate, when the President declares this emergency is to be implemented immediately. Participating
And
federal
the
agencies, what are
boys.
they? National Security
With
Council.
their meat.
What else? Central
With
Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of
I
Justice,
know
Department of
someone
Defense, Department of Interior.
Will answer
Participating state agencies,
my
what are
call.
they? National Guard units,
And
state
others.
police. Participating local agencies are what? City
It won't
police and
be so
county
good.
police, that's right. Now, one of the things you need to understand, brothers, let me make this notation before we read further. In addition to the law enforcement agencies that we just mentioned, in 1982, there was a guy named Oliver North. Y'all have heard of him, right? Oliver North and Ronald Reagan got together, and the two of them amended the King Alfred Plan. And their amendment became known as Rex 84 because it was signed by Ronald Reagan in 1984. Now, the original plan was signed by Lyndon Baines Johnson, but Ronald Reagan amended it to include the Hispanic population. Originally, it was, what we're going to read, it was just written for blacks. But in 1984, Oliver North and Ronald Reagan amended it to include the Hispanic and Latino population. What's really deep, brothers and sisters, is this. The neo-Nazi groups, this is all a part of the amendment in 1984. The neo-Nazi groups in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, along with state militia
Don't
groups,
you know?
like the
It
Missouri
can
militia,
be so cold.
the Michigan militia, the Minnesota militia, all
Today-
these white paramilitary
Today we're
groups that have their training grounds out in the woods and stuff that y'all, I'm sure y'all know about that, right? I hope you know about that.
Too
Well,
soon.